And welcome back, everyone, to an RFL special investigation, Ride at Your Own Risk. Now, you'd think that Rye Playland has got to be incredibly profitable for the county to want to stay in the amusement park business given all these tragedies. But if you think so, you'd be wrong. Carolyn Rowe joins us once again with a look at the price tag and the politics of Playland.
Well, Rich, the fact that Playland has historically lost money is just one of the reasons why a local lawmaker says the amusement park business should be left to the private sector and not a government parks department.
At first glance, Rye Playland may look like a typical amusement park with roller coasters, a Ferris wheel, and kiddie rides. But it's not run like any other park. It's the only county-owned amusement park in the country. It's an issue legislator George Oro says he thinks presents many problems.
A lot of things government does, just by the nature of the fact that it has to go through a public bidding process and that there are other constraints and requirements, makes it more costly to construct something, to build something, to buy something than a private entity could do.
But Westchester County points to this new study that they paid for and sponsored, saying the park generates about $28 million for the local economy.
Well, it breaks down until about 12.9 million is directly within the park, and the rest is from spending outside of the park and also from the amount of jobs that are created in Westchester County by having to assist and help Playland actually operate.
But the park has lost between $3 and $5 million each year for the last several years. Peter Tartaglia, a spokesperson for the park, says they hope to break even this season thanks to a new $25 admission fee. But County Legislator George Oro says he's not sure they'll be able to make up their typical loss.
One of the attractions, I guess, is that it is free. Now that you're going to charge, will it affect attendance and bring down the overall revenue? I don't know.
But dollars and cents aside, Oro says he has serious concerns about the county being in the amusement park business at all.
As a government, it's very difficult to run something like an amusement park. It's really not an appropriate thing for a governmental entity to be doing.
Any large government entity, the bureaucracy that's involved in trying to accomplish something, you have to go through 100 steps to do something.
Scott Generelli, the lawyer representing the Casera family in a recent negligent lawsuit against the county, points to the shocking pretrial depositions RNN told you about earlier. Joseph Montaldo, former director of the park, states in his deposition about the red tape involved in getting things done because you're dealing with civil servants and, quote, civil servants don't like to make changes, and they had issues with people not doing things on a timely basis. Generelli says Toby Higgs, the former director of operations for the park's testimony, talks about similar struggles.
The impression that I got from Mr. Higgs's testimony is that people were happy with the status quo, and a lot of times the status quo just isn't good enough, especially since safety is really an evolving practice. Any amusement park expert you'll talk to, and even the witnesses from Playland testified that safety is an evolving practice.
And Legislator Oro says he questions just how much amusement park experience those running Playland today actually have.
The amusement park is not necessarily run by somebody who is a professional amusement park person. I mean, I assume there are schools you go to and there's experiences you have, and that whoever runs Great Adventure is probably somebody who's worked their way up the ranks running amusement parks around the country. Likewise with the seasonal force that we have, the workforce that we have there, and other things. Again, it's not a core function not only of county government, but it's not even a core function of our parks department.
Now, according to those depositions, Joseph Montaldo, the former director of the park, had a political background but no real experience in the amusement park industry when he took over at Playland. We asked Dan McBride, the current director of Playland, about his resume. This is what he told us.
I was asked to be the director in 2006 and have been working here since that time. I've had a number of years' experience prior to coming to Playland in the Parks and Recreation field. With various communities within Westchester County, and then also here with the County Parks Department. I've spent a lot of time going to training sessions in the amusement park industry to help me be familiar with most of the things that relate specific to the amusement park. But the skill set that I developed over those years, working at all the other places, certainly comes to task here.
All right. Carolyn, I don't want to beat up on Dan McBride. Seems like a nice guy, seems committed to safety at the park, but translation, you never worked at an amusement park here before, right?
Nothing that he mentioned to us specifically about amusement park experience, mostly just experience that he mentioned in parks of other kinds.
And that seems to be the MO for people at the park,
A lot of
whether
people
they're
move up the
political
ladder.
gigs or that they've been at the park for a while. All right, now, in terms of attendance, we're going to get into this more in a little bit, but this whole idea that we need the park, you need the revenue, you already said in your piece, didn't make money here, in fact lost money historically. They have a new plan this year, right?
I asked them about attendance actually a couple weeks ago, and what they said was that obviously the rain has been a big factor. They were below on their projections, but they couldn't give me an exact number. I tried to get that exact number yesterday, but they never got back to me. What they have released this week, though, is this press release saying that they have another plan now that's a stimulus plan, and for $12 people can go and ride 4 rides and get admission to the park. So it seems like they're trying to increase the foot traffic a little bit and keep up with the weather.
It was $25 at the beginning, then they said they're
Another
going to
option
12.
for
One
people.
lawmaker said, you know, it doesn't look like the numbers are that great so far. Thank you very much, Carolyn. All right, when we come back, everyone, a ride that killed 2 people and no one knows where that ride is today. Plus, why some suggest the county ought to be policing the park instead of running it. You're watching an RF special investigation, Ride at Your Own Risk.